the weekend, a video went viral on social media featuring two black men, unidentified black men, who got arrested at a Starbucks. This story began when the two had gone to this particular Starbucks in Philly, and they were waiting for a real estate developer in order to have this meeting about possible investment opportunities. Now, the two had not purchased anything at the Starbucks. They were still waiting for the real estate developer to show up. And at one point, one of these men went up to a worker at Starbucks and asked for the bathroom key to use the restroom. At that point, the employee denied access to the bathroom and told them that they needed to leave because they hadn't purchased anything. When the two refused to leave, this worker called 911. I'm not kidding, called 911, which is supposed to be reserved for emergencies, but nonetheless, 6 police officers showed up because of course it takes 6 police officers to deal with the situation, and the two got arrested. Now we're gonna show you the video, or at least a portion of the video that went viral. It's received up to 9 million views this morning alone. I'm sure at this point it's gone way past 9 million. But with that said, take a quick look.
What did they get called for? Because there were 2 black guys sitting here meeting me?
Yes,
Well, what did they do? What did they do? Did someone tell me what they did?
They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing.
They didn't.
What did they do?
Nothing. And the woman said it's for paying customers only and after us to eat. They didn't do anything.
So the two unidentified men were taken out in handcuffs soon after, which you can see in the video. They were held for nearly 9 hours before being released. No charges were filed because they didn't break any law. They didn't do anything wrong. They did what the vast majority of people tend to do at Starbucks, which is loiter. And Starbucks, by the way, really quickly, Cenk, is known as a community hub. They're always advertising about their free Wi-Fi. They want people to come there and just hang out, which is why oftentimes you can't even find a place to sit at Starbucks. I've done it a billion times. I've literally walked into a Starbucks without buying anything just to use their bathroom. I always get the key with a smile. So it's just interesting to see how these two individuals were treated compared to the vast majority of patrons at Starbucks.
I believe loitering is their business model. They want people to come and hang out. And it was a unique business model when they started. People were like, oh, you're crazy. If people aren't buying stuff, you should be kicking them out. And Starbucks said, no, we have a revolutionary new idea. We're not gonna kick them out unless they happen to be black, in which case we're gonna have them arrested.
We're gonna call 911.
Yeah, now look, to be fair, Starbucks did not do this from corporate headquarters. The store manager in this case happened to do it. And Starbucks is over the top apologetic, and we'll get to that in a second, which is good. But Andrew Yaffe was the real estate development guy that was supposed to meet with them. And he said, why would they be asked to leave? He said, it's absolute discrimination. Does anybody else think this is ridiculous?
You could actually see him in the video. He was the person who was kind of speaking up, and I'm glad that he did it. But regardless of what he had to say, the officers were pretty dead set on arresting these two guys.
Yeah, and I think that part of what happened was the call in the first place. The second thing that happened is no one is ever allowed to de-escalate a situation, right? So now luckily, nothing physical happened here other than putting them in handcuffs, leading them out in front of everybody, which is also physical, and we should never understate the very act of arresting someone as state violence, right? Now, if it has to be done to protect the community, we all understand that, and that's what we signed up for, and that's why we agree to policing. But if it doesn't have to be done, that is a pretty significant action to take against a human being. And in this case, the cops say, well, we went in and they wouldn't leave. Okay, but were they doing anything wrong in the first place? You came and you assessed the situation. Were they breaking any laws? No, you decided that you can't have your authority questioned, hence they had to be arrested. You know how long they spent in prison or in jail? 9 hours. 9 hours for sitting in a Starbucks. Have I done their drug and your drug where I've gone into Starbucks and not bought something? Yes. But see, look, I don't love the term white privilege, but we've talked about this a lot on the show. this is exactly what it means. It doesn't mean that if you're in the middle of Kentucky and you're a white person, you're rich. It means that you go into a Starbucks and don't get randomly arrested. You just don't realize it. I mean, it's not a thing that you celebrate. Like, hey, high five, use the Starbucks bathroom, didn't get arrested. But for Black Americans, unfortunately, it happens far too often.
I think the problem with white privilege, or at least the pushback that you get every time you mention it, is because it's hard for some people to comprehend something that they haven't experienced, right?
Yes.
And so white privilege is really something that people don't experience. It's not something that they do experience. And what I mean by that is that you still have to work really hard. You're still gonna struggle. No one's gonna hand you anything. You're not gonna necessarily get, these incredible opportunities handed to you left and right. It just means that there are certain things you don't have to deal with that other people do have to deal with. So for instance, look, I mean, when has anyone ever walked into a Starbucks without seeing a room full of douchebags on their MacBook Pros all day long? By the way, I'm one of those douchebags. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I've never had to worry about an employee at Starbucks telling me I needed to leave because I haven't purchased anything. I've never had to worry about that kind of harassment. And for the vast majority of Starbucks patrons, they also haven't had to deal with that kind of harassment. But the fact that someone would call 911 on these guys is insane.
It's not a normal police call. 911 is, I got an emergency, okay? And so one of the excuses that was used later was, well, there was an armed robbery at a Starbucks nearby at some point, blah, blah, blah. Wait, so why didn't you call the cops on anyone else at the Starbucks? Like, were you really worried that he went to the bathroom and hence was about to do an armed robbery when he was already out? Wouldn't he have gotten the guns in the bathroom? So none of it makes any sense.
I have to make one other point because I think that it's super relevant and no one's tackling this story from this perspective. These are two guys who are meeting with someone in regard to real estate investment opportunities, which means that they have money, right? So oftentimes when we talk about discrimination or the way people are treated differently in this country, the issue of race makes people really nervous. No, it's not about race, it's more about socioeconomic status. No, it's not. No, it's not. These dudes have more money than I do. These dudes have more money than a vast majority of Americans do, right? They're trying to invest in property, in real estate. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money they have, doesn't matter how successful or well-to-do they are. All that matters, according to some people, is what they look like and whether or not they pose a threat based on stereotypes.
Okay, so now let's get to some of the fallout from this, and there's a decent amount of good news out of this. So first of all, the Philadelphia District Attorney is Larry Krasner. He's very, very progressive, and he was like, yeah, no, we're not keeping them. He said there is not sufficient evidence to charge the men with a crime and they are free to go. So doing the right thing there as soon as it crossed his desk, as far as we can tell. Now in terms of Starbucks, their CEO is flying into Philadelphia to meet with those two guys in specific and to meet with others as well, to let them know, hey, this is not our policy at all. And not only is it not our policy, we're now going to do training about unconscious bias so that all of our managers realize, hey, this is something that is pervasive throughout the country. Look, the police commissioner who's defending all this is also African American. I read somewhere that the manager in question might be Latino. I don't know or care that much about that. The point is that that's why you do the unconscious bias training, because it's an unconscious bias, and it's not only in white people in the country, it's in all of us.
That's exactly right. I think that one of the most common misconceptions is that if you are anything other than white, then you are unable to have any type of bias or to ever discriminate or have prejudice. And it doesn't matter. Like, everyone has issues they need to work out. I don't care if the worker who called the cops is Latino or black herself, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and so one other positive reaction from Starbucks comes from Rosalind Brewer. She is, Brewer, by the way, is a last name for somebody who works at Starbucks, is awesome. She's the chief operating officer. That means basically she's the #2 person in charge in all of Starbucks, which is a gigantic company. She said this is a teachable moment for all of us. So they're going to take it as an opportunity to not only fix the situation, but to go further. She also happens to be African American. And she said that she's got a 23-year-old black son, obviously, and that the video was painful to watch. So obviously a very important executive there at Starbucks vowing for logical reasons, for many different reasons, to tackle this. So people's frustrations is very understandable, but like when they did the Craigslist killer thing and they were like, oh, it's all Craigslist's fault. It could have been the Yellow Pages killer. That's just where the guy happened to find people. So this problem, I'm sure, does happen in other Starbucks because you have individual human beings deciding who is allowed to stay and who is not allowed to stay, who is a danger and who is not a danger. Not based on whether they actually are a danger, but based on their perception. And sometimes, yes, their unconscious bias. But it's not particular to Starbucks. I'm sure it happens all across the different restaurants and different venues. And it looks like in this case, in my opinion, Starbucks has taken some excellent measures to combat it. If you become a member of the Young Turks, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
So do it right now, tytnetwork.com/join. Get the whole Young Turks show every day.